Hey there, thanks for watching the video. I thought I'd take some time at the end here in case you're looking for some beta on the route. It's fairly new, so some people might have some questions, so let's get started. First off, this goes at 5.5 or 5.4, depending on what route you take. And I'd say it felt pretty close to that. I scrambled it, but this is definitely a climb. There's super detailed beta on Mountain Project with GPX tracks with great topos and pictures. I haven't seen any video of this route yet though, so hopefully this will be helpful. It's easiest to park at this slot here. I got here pretty early and there was only one other car at 7 AM. From the parking lot, it's a short walk through the forest before cutting up the drainage path. Then you hike steeply up through the forest for a bit, with the trail occasionally bordering the drainage ditch. Make sure you follow the GPS track and take the right trail here. If you go left, you'll keep hiking up to the top of the climb. That's where you'd be coming down later if you choose not to do the canyon rappels. From there you hike downwards a bit, then head back up some loose scree to the base of the climb. You'll see the arch you're here for at this point, so route finding's fairly easy. It's generously bolted, and fairly straightforward on the way up. At the end of pitch 2, you'll have a choice to go right to the Explorer's route. I'd recommend this if you want the classic arch picture you're probably here for. Or you can go straight up and do some friction slab. If you really wanted to, you could probably climb back to the end of pitch 2 after getting your picture. It's a fairly easy pitch to backtrack on. After that, you continue upwards on fairly easy terrain to the top of the climb, and keep going upwards until you see this set of wrap rings, and then head upwards into the forest on climber's left. At this point, you can decide to hike back down or do the canyon rappels. There's GPX tracks of both of these on Mountain Project. If you're doing the rappels, you keep hiking upwards for a few minutes until the trail heads downwards and right into the top of the gully. Keep walking down for a few minutes until you reach the first set of wrap rings pictured here. Oh, and a note for the astute, you might notice I'm not using a pressix in these shots, and that's because I'm recreating all these shots for the camera. Definitely use one if you're going down, some of the wraps can be a bit overhangy. I'd also recommend a helmet. Some rock's pretty loose here, especially when pulling your rope down from rappel. Anyway, you'll wrap down to the second set of wrap rings here with a small ledge to stand on. After rappelling down to the basin, you'll boulder hop down a decent amount until reaching the third and fourth wrap. I combined them into one wrap with a 70-meter rope, but be careful on the pulls to not get your rope stuck. After the fourth rappel, you walk under the area where you started climbing, so you can actually get back onto the hiking trail and skip the last two wraps if you desired. But the last two wraps go through some fairly cool terrain, so I'd recommend just doing the full thing if you're this far already. You'll then hike down some water runnels, this probably stays wet the longest, and then you head to the last wrap rings. After finishing this wrap, head down and right to get back to the trail you came up earlier. So that's pretty much it. Honestly, the climbing is kind of meh, but let's be honest, we're all here for the arch. And the arch is pretty cool. It makes up for the mediocre climbing. If you're just doing this as an after work lap, you can probably just do the climbing portion pretty fast, but the rappels add a couple hours. And they're pretty fun, but nothing to write home about. I'd recommend doing them once, but I don't think I'll do them again if I return to the area. I should probably say again that this is a climb, not a scramble, so you should probably treat it as such, unless you're certain of your own abilities, but your mileage may vary, so make sure you know your limits before you go do it. Speaking of knowing your own limits, after filming this I grabbed lunch in Banff, then drove up the Icefields Parkway to Nordegg to scramble the Via Ferrata there. This was a super fun outing. I got car to car in about 1 hour 30, and it was wild. There was multiple overhangs, super airy moves, pretty spaced runs, and I didn't actually film me doing this, as I think that would be in poor taste without any equipment. But this is apparently the hardest Via Ferrata in Canada, so that's pretty fun. I did spend about 20 minutes up there filming these wild goats, and we actually bumped into each other on the trail and I spooked him pretty bad, but afterwards they kept kicking rocks down at me, so he got me back. I'll try and get the Crown Couleur video out next, and maybe I'll get out more than one video a year. Can't guarantee that though, but I do appreciate the people reaching out to see if I'm still alive. And to the guy I saw yesterday on the BCMC trail, thanks for saying hi. Sorry I didn't get your name, but thanks for the kind words and hope your Castle Towers trip goes well. And hey, I finally uploaded again. That's all I have to say. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Say hi if you see me out there, and feel free to subscribe if you like what you see. See ya.